Okay, let's welcome today's race winner. He is Elliott Sadler. He drove the number 2 Grand Touring Vodka Chevrolet for KHI, and he becomes, as I said earlier, the 21st driver in NASCAR history to win a race across all 3 national stock car series: Sprint Cup Series, the Nationwide Series, and now the Camping World Truck Series. So you made history out there today, Elliott, and you won the inaugural race here at Pocono. How sweet is it?
It's hard to put in words what this means to me. To have a tough couple years like we've had in the Cup Series and things not go like we want to as far as running up front and winning races and leading laps and things like that. To you sit at home a lot wondering if you're ever gonna make it back to victory lane. Are you ever gonna have that situation again? Are you ever going to be in that position again? And last year in the Daytona 500, I felt like when the rain didn't come, and it did come, and it was like 15 seconds from winning that race, I thought, man, am I ever going to be in this position again? And this to me, and I know it's recent and it's today, but it feels like the biggest win in my career. And the reason I say that is, there's a lot of naysayers out there, and there's a lot of people that, are writing me off and not giving me a chance to be able to make a comeback and be a strong presence again in this sport. And to be able to come here today and sit on the pole and win the race and race against people like Casey Kane and Denny Hamlin, who I think are two of the best race car drivers, two of the best race car drivers we have in our sport, especially at this racetrack, means just an awful great deal to me.
Very well put, and I think we all join you in congratulating you, Elliott.
Thank you.
Very popular victory, I think, across the garage and certainly in the media center as well. Let's take questions now for Elliott. If you have one, let's go back in the corner, back in the back there. Start with Robin and then move our way down here.
Yeah, Dave Robin, NASCAR.com. Elliott,
hey.
Casey and Matt were in here and Justin, and they talked about strategically, almost like a Daytona-style drafting the line you're in race. When did you know you had this thing locked up? It looked like you had a strong truck all day. When did you know this victory was yours?
Well, I didn't know till I crossed the white flag. With all the green, white checkers and everything that goes on in nowadays, when I got to the white flag and I looked up and Casey and Matt and all those guys are racing so hard with each other, I'm like, okay, I'm in pretty good shape. The restarts were crazy because it was drafting so much down into turn 1 and people were getting pushes and 2-car tandems and things like that. And the restart before, I guess Casey liked the inside, and then he took the inside again and gave me the outside, and I got a great push from the 7 truck that pushed me out to the lead. But my strategy was for the last green-white checkered, we were doing so much drafting going into turn 1 that I just slowed the pace of the restart way down. I didn't jump on the brakes or anything like that, but as soon as the pace truck left us, I just slowed the pace of the truck, my truck down maybe 100 RPMs to make sure that drafting was not going to be as big of a play going into turn 1, and that really helped me get through turn 1 a little better and be able to clear Matt Crafton to go down the long pond. So that's kind of what I was thinking on that last restart. You got a follow-up?
Go ahead, Robin. Get him the mic here, please, Amanda.
Robin always wants extra questions, I know.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Butch. I've lost track of how many drivers you've won with this year, but talk a little bit about working with Elliott this weekend, and just is it a statement of your versatility, your driver's ability, the KHI stuff? I mean, what's that all about?
Well, I think to me it's all about KHI and what we do there as a group. We truly are one team, one dream, and we work really hard at it to be that way. We really try to function as a unit. We do a lot of customer trucks. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but probably 10 trucks in the field today were built at KHI. We do a lot of setup work. The 31, the 4, the 88 had a body on from us this week, the 13. We try to do a lot. We work real close with the 3 truck with Austin. And, I want to take a moment and give Danny Stockman a little credit. He did the tire test up here, and we did the 7-post testing afterward. And then Elliott drove the shit out of the vehicle right there. That was awesome.
Yeah, I like that. Print that, please.
Excellent. Okay, let's go back to questions. As I mentioned, we've got Butch Hylton up here, the crew chief of today's champion team. So let's go here with Pockers. Go ahead.
Bob Pockers, St. Daily. I mean, Elliott, you talk about how important it was for yourself to win just because you never thought you got back there. How important is it to win and trying to convince other people in the garage who may be looking at you for a ride for next year?
That's a great, great question, Bob. And my wife and I laid in bed last night, and I slept about an hour and a half last night, and that's it. And I'll tell you why. I knew we had a truck that could win the race, and I knew that with all the stuff that's going on right now in my career, with all the people I'm talking to, this is great timing for me to be able to run good and sit on the pole. And I screamed to the top of my lungs when I sat on the pole today because I thought that was cool to be able to go out there and do that and then to come back and win the race. But felt like I was putting all my eggs in this basket when I came up here this weekend to run good in this truck. And when Butch called me this week, he's like, I'm going to pour champagne on you in Victory Lane at Pocono. He told me that Tuesday morning. So we got a great truck, got a good body on it. The engine we got from ECR is amazing. We're going to go up there and we can win this race. And the confidence that he has in their equipment and in me, I just think helped me do whatever I had to do today to try to win the race. And it's just amazing to be in this situation and be able to go to Victory Lane, man. I'm not going to lie to you. When I crossed under the white flag, my eyes just teared up full of tears for the whole final lap because I just never knew if I could be back in this situation again.
All right, let's go to another questions here. Let's go to Reed and then Lee. Go ahead.
Reed Spencer with Sporting News. Elliott, both Casey and Matt were in here saying that they thought the race should have been a little bit longer. I would assume that you were fine with the length of it today, but they said that they were almost nervous at about 25 laps because it was going so quick, and thought they were just getting warmed up.
Yeah, the only thing about the race that Butch and I knew, and this is why we ran a ton of practice laps yesterday. Somebody asked me this morning, why'd you run so many practice laps? It's a 50-lap race. We're going to get one adjustment at our truck. That's it, one pit stop. It's not like a cup race where you're going to get 8 or 9 chances between the driver and the crew chief to make it right. So we tried a lot of different stuff yesterday, Butch did, to give himself an idea what the truck was going to do today because we weren't going to have a one shot at it. And at the end of the first run, Casey was a little better than I was. Butch made a little adjustment to make my truck a little better off the get-go and off the start, and especially in turn one, and it paid off for us. So I think it's a cool shootout-style formula. I think our 500-mile race here, if it was 400-mile race, would probably be a lot more fun to watch and a lot more stuff going on. And there's a lot of sense of urgency on restarts with 20 laps to go because it was such a short race. So we saw a lot of pushing. We saw a lot of bump drafting, a lot of side drafting, which I think is a good racing. So, I think it's the quality of the race and not the quantity that the fans want to see. So if it's 50 laps of good, hard racing, I think the fans should be happy with that.